Hi everybody, I am back with another video, and in this video I wanted to talk about where we are right now in this coronavirus pandemic. I see as we go all the way back to the 1800s when the matrix, the economic system was agriculture. And then in the 1900s, when the Great Depression and the stock market crash and all of that, then we saw that there was a new revolution or new era. We moved into industrial. We moved from agriculture to industrial. And now it's been industrial for about 100 years. So 100 years later, and then even back then they had the Spanish flu 100 years ago. So it seems like this situation has a crash and a pandemic. 100 years later, we are in what? We had a stock market crash in 2008. That is not the same as the crash we're having now. And then the crash I see for now, and it's not, the crash is not even as bad, because 2008 everything zeroed out because my husband bought stocks back then, and that's why we are pretty good where we are, and when it was low, and now we see where we are now. And I'm looking, the stocks are not down in the pennies or single digits like it was back then, and a lot of them double digits, low double digits. So it's not like it was back then, but we see with this stock market crash mixed with the pandemic, we are moving into a whole nother economy, a whole nother revolution, a whole nother era. And this is the technology era that we're moving in now. So we see for the last 300 years, we had the time of agriculture, and then the Spanish flu, and stock market crash, I think in 1919, Great Depression and all of that, and then we moved from agriculture to industrial. Now you got the industrial, all these your big companies, people leaving the agricultural, which is the fields. We did the in the South it was the cotton, it was the crops, like, because when I was a teenager I worked in the fields with I was a baby when it was cotton, but the crops, I was in the field with the tobacco and all of that, and and picking up the potatoes and the cucumbers, and picking the crops, the harvest, like what we see the illegal immigrants are doing now. And now all of that is going away, because I saw on the news today this farmer in a tractor just plowing over all the vegetables that's going to the stores, because you don't have nobody to sell them to. So we see that going away, and now we are moving into technology era, and that's where this article comes in at. And this article was written by this guy named Chris Hurd, and it says the companies who adopted technology 20 years ago replaced every company that didn't. And I can actually see that, because in '95, having never touched a computer, really, I bought my very first computer on 95 on Windows, and I took that computer apart, disabled the monitor, had to call a good friend and his wife, and he had a business in doing computers, and he taught me through it, and I enabled my monitor back on the computer. I've changed hard drives. I did all of this to learn how to work on a computer, because I sensed I need to get into computers because I didn't want to be left behind when these computers become a big thing. I could have sensed all of that even back then. Being a sentient being, I can feel. I just feel and know knowledge, not understanding it all the time. But I just go with it. I said because my body would just be pushing me towards certain things. So my sense body pushed me toward getting into technology, learn about computers. So that's what I did. And 18 years after leaving college, getting married, and having 4 kids, when they was early teenagers, I went back to school in 2004, and I changed my major from business administration to business technology, information technology in 2005, because now I really want to get into computers. And I only went part time. I went to school. I took 2 classes at a time. Four. I took 4 classes at a time, and then I would take two. I went part time. And I ended up graduating in 2013 because I was sick with health issues at the time. So I didn't think nobody would hire me with my posture being the way it is with MS. People look at me and I wouldn't get hired. Anyway, but I still took that class, and even though and where am I now? We are in a technology age where we are remotely working from home. So even though it seemed like me taking those classes didn't, and I would have people say, "Well, you taking 10 other classes, what job you gonna get? Who gonna hire you?" I kept taking the classes anyway because I just tell me this is what I need to do. And today we're in that technology world where what I've been doing for the last 10 years, sitting at home on the computer, just on the computer doing stuff, whatever. And now we're in an era where I haven't been left behind by the young people. I haven't been left behind by revolution. I'm right here in the midst of it, and I see and I can understand and I can be a part of it. Oh, I ain't meant to do that. I was making sure I was still recording because this thing here cut off. But anyway, it says companies who adopted remote working will replace every company who doesn't in 20 years. So 20 years from now, it's saying that those who adopt remote working will replace every company who doesn't in 20 years. But here are companies who adopted a technology 20 years ago replacing companies. So 20 years from now, according to the article, remote working will replace every company who doesn't who doesn't replace every company now. So you get what I'm saying. Anyway. And it's the reason is incredibly simple. Talent and efficiency. Talent and efficiency. That's what everybody has a talent in something. How efficient a person be in every talent. Now, it may be different. Because I have 4 different kids and they are all very talented. But they're all efficient in certain ones. And they're all individuals. Because I taught all my children when they were young to be entrepreneurs. So even though they went to work like everybody else, they still got that entrepreneur mindset that's there. And now in this age that we're in now, they have a skill and they can remotely do it. It's just that they're in a time now where this coronavirus, this pandemic, this crash, these businesses being shut down, dismantled, going away, it's not a thing for them. It's only a thing for people who only focus on the job in that plant. And now we're in an age where we went from agriculture to industrial, the plants, the businesses, most of the industrial plants and these people on the assembly line and doing all of this, this tedious work that causes on copper tunnel and all kind of stuff. I could never work in a plant. I just couldn't. So I just need to try to get work in offices, doctor offices, dentist offices, every office you can think of. Put an application, even in stores like, let's say, like AutoZone. I only put in for certain jobs because I've always had scoliosis issues, so standing and stuff was always a problem for me, and then certain movements was always a problem. So I just focused on getting a job where I know my body would work better without a whole lot of stress. And in a sense like that, you wouldn't get hired because you're supposed to be able to take anything. I wasn't put on this earth to just do any work regardless of what it does to my body. Anyway, here it mentions talent. And it shows that unless you are Google, Amazon, Facebook, or Microsoft, remote teams will be far more talented than any office-based team. So if you work in an office, you better understand remote, because that's the only way you won't have a job at the end of this pandemic. And it says, talent wars will be won by companies that have great remote work capability. Who will wield it to dominate the next decade? So I don't know who's going to wield it, but certain people are going to have jobs. And it shows that these remote jobs, these remote companies, you can basically do this. You can do this because we see a lot of people in the pandemic are working from home. So this remote already working. The remote thing been going on, I know, for the last 10 years because I know a young man. He worked with Blue Cross Blue Shield. He working for them since he got out of high school, and he been there probably 3-6 months, and they had him working from home. So I know he worked from home with Blue Cross Blue Shield for 10 years. My daughter worked from home with Blue Cross Blue Shield. So my oldest daughter, she got like a couple of more classes and she'll have her bachelor's degree because she already got her associates. And now she's working on her bachelor's. She works remotely from home. And then my other daughter, she can work remotely from home because she's on the computer remotely doing stuff all the time anyway, even though like her mama, she can't get hired because of some BS they did when she was in school. You fight, the police throw you in jail, put that on your record, and you can't ever get a good job for the rest of your life. Which I showed off about it back then, and it is what it is today. So, and then I got a son. He's a computer person. He can remotely do whatever he want to do. And then I got my other youngest son. He's a welder. He can remotely do anything. But he's working. I mean, he don't have an issue with working. He's at work. He's at work now. Because I called him. He said he's at work. And I text him, asked him a question. So they're all entrepreneur minded. So in this situation right here, them having a job won't be a problem because they won't go right into it. Because see, the millennials, that's where this workspace is opening up for the millennials. See, they will say like there are no jobs for the millennials because the baby boomers this and the Gen Xers this, they're all in the offices. Now, everybody's coming out of the offices to being in their homes. So, the millennials and the Generation Z, which is their children, are all online. So it is nothing for all the millennials up now to have jobs. It's these baby boomers and Gen Xers who did not understand, or didn't care to understand, or care to be aware that you have to move. You have to move with the young people. I already know where my grandkids, my oldest grandson is 11, and they go down from 11, 10, 8. We're going to know 11, 10, 10, 8, 7, and 3 months. And their mother daughter got one on the way. So, with all that said, we have to move with technology. So technology is moving us into a whole nother work space. Just like agriculture, moving to the plants, because my dad went from working the fields, tobacco, cotton, picking beans, whatever. And then the Mexicans come into the field in the South, and therefore black people didn't have any work. So those who went into the plant, like my dad went into the plant, and my sisters and brothers, I didn't go into the plant because I weren't plant material. Then I could have worked there. I could have worked that field now. But now we have gone from industrial and office work going into technology. So if you if you understand where we are, and if your mind wasn't focused on remote, and I know a lot of millennials that work on remote, that remotely work from home. I know a lot of them. You won't believe how many people remotely work from home already. So it's a whole lot of people that this job is them losing a job is not having a job is not a problem. It's a lot of people don't see that because I speak to the young people and I'm always out here. I got that young people energy. I may look like you can look at me and tell I have some particular health issues by my posture. But the young people look at me like, they find me interesting. I like to have fun. I like doing all of that. So I kind of understand where the young people at because I trying to make sure I stay in tune with the young people. Because if you're out of tune with the young people, you don't know what era we're moving into, and you could be left out. And he talks about great talent. They said the most talented people are stipulating remote work as a condition of employment. People want to work from home. Companies who don't provide this won't be able to attract the best people. So, some people don't even want to do this. Some people don't even want to be bothered with a computer. Because a lot of them work on computers, and especially a lot of baby boomers. They on computers all day long. When they come home, they don't want to touch a computer. I have a sister that's like that. She don't want to touch no computer. She want nothing about no computer. Because that's what she do all day. Me, since I'm a hermit in my house, all my life I've been kind of a loner. I like being around people, but I also like my space, my loner space. And I'm online since 2008. Online, just online, just there. Now I'm interacting with people online a little bit more as of 2020, not even 2019. It is what it is. But they say changing a preference. Now the smartest people I know personally all plan to work remotely in the next decade. Exactly, all the people he know personally. Just me, being aware of people around me. I can see that, especially with the millennial. Millennial don't even talk about it. I just see how they move, and I can see that they basically remotely work from home. You'll be amazed at how many people work from home. And it's the millennial. There's probably some baby boomers too, because I'm a baby boomer that prefer to work from home. I had my own home base, still have it, florist business. I did it all from home. Pay my taxes and everything, I did it all from home. So I've always been home based. I just could not deal with moving from the agriculture to the industrial, going inside. I just could not. deal with that. So I just never fit in with that. But now, after at the end of the industrial, I'm already in technology. So I went from agriculture to a little spacing town where I'm trying to figure out where in the world I need to be because these plants and offices just ain't it. So now, technology is where everything is going, and it says that remote will be the dominant workplace of the best companies and people. Facebook. I know a lot of people work with Facebook remotely. I got hired a job at Facebook remotely. I didn't take it up back then because my MS was to the point where it was just hard for me to function mentally. And people didn't believe that until I went and pulled up the job offer and posted it on Facebook. That's on my other channel. Posted it on Facebook too. Oh, so you posted it? Yeah, because people say, yeah, she just talking. But I posted it. Now they say efficiency. Office first companies won't be able to compete with remote. Office first companies won't be able to compete with remote first companies in terms of efficiency, both economic and operationally. So a lot of the young people with this pandemic, it's pushing people to work from home. Mandatory stay at home, quarantine, telling you stay home. This pandemic seems to be a good thing because it's pushing the world into technology where it was going anyway, since it was a slow process getting it. So people are being forced into stay home, figure it out. We work remotely from home. If you can't fathom in your brain how to work remotely from home, then you're just gonna see how things end up on the other side of this pandemic. Now, and it says not only will remote first companies increase their average level of talent with each hire, they will be far more cost efficient. City living is subsidized by companies, leading to a lower disposal and quality of life. So that right there is going to eliminate these people low quality and disposable life that a lot of people in the cities have. So the people, those in the cities, those who are aware of the times and didn't just decide that there was going to be, this is all I want to do, and what like someone say, well, I ain't gonna say that because that's kind of religious tone, but anyway, all you want to do is what you're doing. So when that job go away, then where you gonna be stuck? You have to learn how to work remotely like the millennials are, because the millennials, they ain't had no problem finding a job. They had a problem finding a job in this industrial, what they call up here, what they call office work and industrial work. The millennials didn't have jobs there, like these fast food places. Then when jobs went, they had parents taking the children's job, and now the children don't have a job. The young people don't have a job because now you got people with bachelor's degrees working at McDonald's. I know that for a fact because I know one personally that worked there. But they're moving from office and industrial to technology. And you don't have to be in an office. You can sit at your computer. Like it was on Peter Thomas IG Live, and he spoke to a lady at the RRS. She's still working, and she said, "I work from home." She remotely worked from home. So there are a lot of people sitting back watching this pandemic, and people panicking about a job. People out here protesting, all out there in the street statements, protesting about opening the businesses back up. Open the business back up. You can't force the world to go backwards. Technology is coming forward. We're being fast tracked forward. This pandemic is fast tracking everybody forward. You got to become aware. Technology is where we's going. Where we's going. Real estate costs. Now, the office first company spent $18,400 average per workplace per person. But the remote setup on the planet costs $2,000 a year, coffee included. Think about it. You go from $18,400. I don't know if that's a year or month or what, to $2,000 a year. And that could be, I don't know. But anyway, remote is $16,400 less a year per team member, per one person, or at a 16.4 million savings per 1,000 workers. You see where we're going with that? All of this are billions of dollars that's just out there growing dust in rich people's bank account while they just make money off of workers, which are the industrial workers, the office workers, make all that money off of them instead of putting there and sitting there. So now what's going on? It's only going to cost $2,000 a year for one person, a remote person. Like my daughter, I don't care what, say her husband military, from New York to Hinesville. She works from home. Everywhere she goes, she gets a job and she remotely works from home. She goes out and work, but she also remotely works from home. So think about it, she's sitting there and it's only $2,000 a year for her to sit at her computer and work from home. I need to invest some money in Staples, because everybody gonna need, because these places like Staples ain't going out of business. Because remotely work from home, you still gonna need office equipment to turn one of your rooms into an office. My office is my bedroom. I sit on my bed. I just got my printer. Took my stimulus money and bought me a printer a long time. And, oh God. Well, okay, I thought it went away. In a long time needing a printer, but finally got the printer. I got the MacBook, iPad. I got this iPhone that I'm talking on now. My son gave me the smart TV. I got my Roku on and all that. So everything just spacious for me. I can just sit here and do whatever at any time. Only $2,000 a year for somebody like me to work from home. And so if you can work from home and be comfortable, I don't even see a reason for nobody to be disabled. How you gonna become disabled? Well, you become disabled, you sitting there not eating right and getting sick and all of that. But in your home, you can get up and walk outside in my backyard, walk around, because I plan to make me a little trail back there in a little part behind my house, just take a little while, I like to walk around, whatever. You can do all of that. You could be healthy. And I don't particularly know what this word is, but anyway, whatever. Offices are instantaneously gratification adult. Offices are instantaneous gratification adult kids club where it's impossible to focus and do deep work without distraction. Yeah, because all kind of stuff going on in offices. Remote gives you the optimum workspace you need to do your best work. That's right. Remote. You remotely work from home. You can also remotely work from an office. But with this pandemic, everybody is remotely working from home. So you better figure it out. Output over time. The only metric bad middle managers, the only metric bad middle managers use to measure performance is time spent in the office. Remote work is about how much work you get done, focusing on productivity. So I can see that. Well, you got to be at work 4 hours a day, and you get paid per hour, 8 hours a day. So a lot of time you may not have no work. So you getting paid just to just be there and waste time. But at home, you get your work out, and it's done. You get paid to get your work out. When you work out, you got that good work done. And I see that in my daughters when they just my oldest daughter, she works from home. I see how she get her workout. Get that workout, she get paid. She good. Get that couple hours in like she supposed to get in, or that a couple hours a day she supposed to do. She sit there. She does good. That's where it's going. And she has a company where she set people up for training to work from home. When she was trying to do that, they made fun of her, that it ain't take her seriously. Now what? You either work from home or you don't have a job. So now she still got that business, and anybody work from home, she still can sign you up, train you to work remotely from home. That's what her business is about, training people to work remotely from home on their computer. She was trying to get people to do that. She signed some people up who took her seriously, but you had I don't know what this person on Facebook was trying to do, but I mean they started dragging, harassing her, and her husband come on there and wanted to know if he need to go find that person that was harassing her. So that stopped. But like she said, she was just trying to help people. Now, during a pandemic, now I guess you wish you would have had her take that class. It's on like a 2-week class, 3-week class. They train you how to sit in your house and work from home. Now, okay. So why now? Remote work is the biggest workplace revolution in history, and nothing will deliver a higher quality of life increase in the next decade than this. Workers having more flexibility to decide their work schedule. This is stuff that we've been doing for the last 10 years. Decide our own work schedule. Workers having more flexibility, able to operate when they are most productive. See, like when I went to school, when I graduated in 2013, I got really sick close to the end. It was really hard for me to pass my classes. So I started taking all my classes online for 2 full years until I was told it's mandatory I take these last 4 classes in the school, which was extremely hard. But anyway, when I would feel sick or my eyes would literally go out. I couldn't see anything. So I would lay down, go to sleep, and after I rested, I would get up, go online, take my classes, and then when I felt bad, I would lay down and go sleep, take my classes. I did that for 2 years, passed all my classes. Graduate 2013 in business, computer technology. Now, you see, I was dealing with MS at the time and didn't know it. So now these sick people, they can sit at home and work from home. Online, remotely, because that's what I did. Even though I was really sick, couldn't do anything. All I could do was I could only sit up maybe 30 minutes to an hour, take my class, and then I had to lay down. I took 2 years of my online classes in my bed, babysitting my grandson. That was in 2008. My grandson, he born 2008. So I begged them, let me keep him. I keep him that way. They didn't have to pay no daycare. So He was in. I got pictures. He was in the bed with me. He would be on. He grew up in the bed with me, and as he grew up, I got out of the bed. I would lay on the chair, take my classes. He crawled around. I was always right there. So that's how I did that. And with it saying this, that is very much true about you increasing the high quality of life, increasing the next decade. That's actually true, because like it says, you have flexibility to decide your work schedule. Like I had the flexibility to decide the hours, that the time that I took my classes, and the time that I literally couldn't do nothing but sleep. Now, it says being handcuffed to an office and expected to live in a high cost of living city with a low quality of life is remnant of the Industrial Revolution. Exactly. The Industrial Revolution, which I could never get into it. My body could never just couldn't do it. I would get sick. I would fall. I would trip. It was just, I just couldn't do it. My body physically couldn't do it. But I could sit home and get on the computer. And I could fix the computer, take it apart and whatever. I could do all of that. Sitting in my house. If not feeling bad, go lay down. So this is the revolution where you don't have to go through all that. Now it says the devolution of the offices into almost factory-like conditions as distraction factories. Adult Kids Club is complete. Okay. The office has become the worst place on the planet to get the isolation and focus you need to do deep work. So you got to go to work, but you can't focus. You can't do deep work. Now me, I got to now, since 2005 and up to now, I could do the deep work. I sit here. I would be up to 5 o'clock in the morning trying to figure out the my second computer was a Millennium computer. And everybody hated that computer. I don't know what it was about it, but I loved that computer. The viruses and the bugs, I just loved it. How you fix that? I'm just all in there just fixing these things, and I'm sending them to Microsoft. Just fixing the Microsoft. So, and my laptop worked exactly the way I needed it to work. Because I was just excited. I just love figuring out the bugs. Troubleshooting is just, anyway. So, it says, make no mistake, remote work is exploding to prominence right now. We are living through the inflection point today. Shortly, workers will realize their power and influence to demand remote work. The millennials already know it. The baby boomers, I want to think it's the older baby boomers and the silent generations, and I will say those 65 and over, just for a little range, 65 and over, especially 7 over. If they want to still be in the workforce, they have to be aware, because I think the millennials already aware of that. Look at the children. School is closed. Parents are teaching the school structure has been moved online. Because on Vet Night, this guy was saying how all of this schoolwork is flooding in to these parents for these kids to do. Parents got to work, feed the kids. Then they also got to make sure the kids get to work. It's not an easy thing. So I'm here to see, and I probably do a research paper on it. Because when I was going to school, I used to love doing research paper on what the next work generation of the young people was going to be like. Because I did a paper where the young people would be today. But this will be an exciting paper to write on where these young people, school kids, school is being moved from building to online. So, and they say, how do I develop a remote strategy? They say we built an all-in-one provisioning platform that lets companies develop a remote work strategy instantly. Instantly? Now, we provide all the practical equipment remote workers need at the touch of a button. First Base takes care of everything as a monthly subscription. Monthly subscription to everything. Yeah. Look, I did when I took out the computers. I'd rather figure out how to set it up myself. You can go, you can set it like my daughter. She set at her house. She go in there and look up a job, and she look up for the ones that are work at home. So this must be for the companies to do, because a worker, they don't need to go through all that. But anyway, now it says a monthly prescription per worker, including delivery. So yeah, this is for the companies, because definitely ain't nobody sitting at home working gonna pay us a monthly prescription to work. Anyway, upgrades, maintenance, repairs, and collections when a worker leaves. We help you. When a worker leaves, they help you. Creating a whole new job. Whole new job. Companies gonna need that, because my daughter, when she was going into the offices and working, my kids must have done quit 4 or 5 different jobs just this year. Because the millennials are not putting up with that office stuff, overwork, and very little pay, and you got family to take care of, and the job officers want you to be loyal to them, and all that other stuff. That's a thing in the past now. So it says you can be more cost efficient, comply with the regulations, save time on onboarding, and slash your real estate costs. Yes, all of this can happen. But if people create their own businesses, become entrepreneurs with several streams of income, I don't even see, I guess you have certain people that come to a realization to learn about working remotely from home. Yeah, those can transition to this. But those who entrepreneur, just want to be free to move about in this new earth that is coming, this 5D earth. You can live in the earth free. Like me, I've been free since 2008 when I started moving all my bills online. Now, every single thing I pay, I've been paying online for the last 12 years. I realized when I felt like when I was real sick and didn't know what was going on, and I just felt like, how you feel like you're dying, but you're still here. So I was like, okay, if I'm dying, then death is going to catch me on the move. So I kept moving. And now what? I said that I said that in 2004. When I went back to school, death will catch me moving. And I've been doing that since 2004, so it's been more than 12 years. So that's how long I've been on the move. Then once I started taking the computer classes, I started understanding the computer and started moving everything online in 2008. And now all my bills are paid online, because I saw this digital, this online, everybody could be, my thing is to be free. This move about, elbow room. I can jump around, shake around, dance. I don't have to be bumping into people. To me, that's a good thing. So, it is what it is at that. And this says that sign up for a demo of the platform here. The platform here, this is an office space. Who can't go in big lots and get a chair, which I got me a chair, set my own office, table, lamp. I gotta figure out how to get the lighting set up good. But I'll figure that out. Since everything is moving online, now I'm sitting behind a computer, laptop, iPhone, and I need that lighting so I can be seen clear. Right now it's like a dark shadow. But anyway, I'll figure that out over time. It's a demo of our platform here. This is just an office This is just a office space. So so now I guess businesses set it up like that. That'd be one thing, but then they could have been doing that instead of having people um, all bunched together in cubicles and on these assembly lines. Anyway, first base, instant at-home remote worker setup. Who can't do this? Anybody can do this. But I guess if you go work for a company like Facebook, you're gonna need a little office set up. I don't want to be stuck in an office. I get bored. Like I got an office around there, chair set I can sit around there. I can sit, I sit at my iPad in there, and I sit at in there, and the church meetings have moved at least for the Kingdom Hall, because a lot of people in the church are trying to go to church, but the Kingdom Hall moved their meetings to Zoom, and so me and me go around there and we sit down there and we have the meeting on Zoom. Then I come back around here and I watch my YouTube on TV. When I get tired of YouTube, I watch Netflix, something like that. And right now I can sit on my little iPhone in my little dark room, in the dark, and do this video. I don't want to be stuck. To me, this right here is, instead of you being stuck in a cubicle in a company, you stuck in a cubicle in your house. You never leave out that space. To me, that is not freedom. But anyway, that's where the workers are going. But that's the end of this article. So I just thought there was a great article, because this article kind of complements what I was thinking in my mind. When it came to my mind, we went from agricultural revolution to the industrial plants office revolution, and now we are moving on into technology revolution, where everybody are going to be remotely working from their house. And I actually learned this a few months ago. I became aware of this a few months ago, that everybody gonna be working from home, and all of these plants that have 200 and plus 2,000 workers, they're gonna be shut down. Now I heard this, I understood this since last year. This information came to me last year, 2019. So I said, I sure waiting to see how all of these shut down and everybody be working from home. Pandemic, and now everything shut down and working from home. So that information came to me last year. So, intuitively, all this is good, I guess, energy coming from the sun, and being on my spiritual journey, being connected with nature. I'm a star seed, and I've always been fascinated, connected to the stars, the moon, just spaded this up there looking at the beautiful star. I went out there and I looked at those stars twice. And I just had millions of stars, and I did just beautiful. So that's me. I want to be able to do that. And you're not going to be able to do that sitting up in your house, like how this is moving everybody from office space to sitting in a little, stuck in a room in your house. I can't see that. I'm going to have to be free. So like a lot of people I see online, they got several streams of businesses, and they online working from home, selling their product on Amazon and stuff. So you're going to need people to ship this stuff. So I guess that way those computers going to be in these your Amazon plants, in these drones shipping these things for our people sitting in their house, taking orders and sending it to the Amazon. Because I just see, because they're saying computers going to take over all the jobs. So we there. So everybody leaving the plants, companies, industrial plants, the companies, the offices, and moving into their homes, and the computers is going to be packaging up everything. So anyway, so with this video, in conclusion of this video, I just see that we're in my lifetime, in my awareness, seeing a third revolution We were being ushered into the third revolution. Agricultural, I guess from the time of slavery and industrial, from the time of leaving the fields, the gardens, and moving into buildings, plants on an assembly line, like little robots. And now the robots is gonna move on the line, and then the literal people are moving into their houses. And those who are not opening up their mind and seeing where we are, it's gonna be chaos for them. So anyway, my job is to um just share the information as it comes to me, so I can help open the eyes of some people that may not be aware where we are in this moment in time, and the fact that this pandemic is moving everybody out of these industrial plants and corporate offices into their homes. There's still going to be some people that's still going to be in these stores in towns, like Belk's talking about opening back up, because these people that's already set up online and making their money, they can probably come back to their storefronts and have, because in the Belks now, they might be got 2 workers in the whole store. And I said, why you got to walk around the store just look for somebody to ring up your stuff. So small businesses like that, I think, are becoming these big business, corporate business. I see these going away. And the fact that this company right here, the AMC, is filing for bankruptcy and not coming back, and then a lot of other companies are filing for bankruptcy as they try to figure out how not to go, or not to go away of the dinosaurs and the dodo birds that they say they didn't think. So don't get left behind. So that's it for this video, and I will see you on the next video. Bye.